Hello and welcome to the State of the League, episode 5. My name is Good Guy Knox. I am here with Princess Diana and Modest Mojave, and we're going to be talking some League of Legends today. How you guys doing? You're still laughing from whatever you were laughing about before.
We can't talk about it.
What kind of parent are you, leaving me in a voice call with Diana?
This seems to be a problem every week, so I think I might need to look into the arrangements a little bit.
I need a new green room, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, there needs to be a new green room. We're gonna have the best green room. I'm gonna have the best green room. We're gonna have the strongest sanitizers into our veins. Okay, so today we are going to discuss.
No,
obviously.
Are you recording? I even.
Oh, what are you looking at there, Knox?
We're recording now and we're live. Okay, so anyways, today we're gonna be discussing. Wait, what showed up on the screen? Was it the K-pop thing?
No, I wish. It was worse. No, you're good. You're good.
Well, I'm like John. I'm 100% sure I do not have any pornographic material open on my computer right now.
Diana was the only person not sure.
At least Monzi clipped it. All right, guys, we are live now. This is a live recording, just for any of you who are listening to it on audio later on. We do it live on twitch.tv, Good Guy Knox. So we always try to clue you in anything that's going on visually, and we'll do our best, but we'll do we'll do our best again. Anyways, things we're gonna talk about today, we're gonna have some introductions, talk about our weeks a little bit. Total tilters, what really tilted us this week in the world of the League of Legends or otherwise. We got the patch notes and Meta Masher that we're going to go over. Let's talk about, there's not nearly as many changes as the last patch, but there's still some impactful changes in there, and we will go over those with you. We have our resident lore expert, Joshua, a.k.a. Mama Carrot Cake, a.k.a. Dr. Carrot Cake, a.k.a. The Kid, a.k.a. the disembodied voice, somewhere in the house, I think. Can you be in a house if you don't have a body? Anyways... So he's here, and he's gonna do. We're gonna do Lore Me or Bore Me, where he tells us a lore story, and we vote yay or nay whether we are interested. He only has 60 seconds to do so, which is fun. And then obviously we're gonna get to the LCS LEC. There's some news there too, especially involving TSM and TL. And don't forget, right after, because I did when I was reading over the format, right after the Total Tilter, we're also going to hear Billy Bufu's Balancer. One thing he could change about the game that would completely, in his mind, fix the game by removing or whatever. I haven't heard it yet, so I'm assuming something, but we'll hear. Maybe we'll play it and it'll be like, Nox is an a-hole, never talk to me again. I don't know. I didn't listen to it, so hopefully there's nothing that bad in there. All right, so... I did start the recording. So anyways, how are you doing this week, Modest Mojave? Because I always go to Diana first.
I'm doing much better now that I'm going first.
Diana
Much
looks
better.
like Minecraft again. I don't get it.
I know. I don't know. I think it's.
It always happens
It's their
after we
settings.
start.
It's not RTX. Don't worry.
It always happens after we start, which I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
well, before we start, we're like fine, but then as soon as we start, I don't know. Anyways, Mojave,
Weird.
tell me about your week, mate.
It's been good. Nothing too crazy, honestly. It's not a bad thing. I've been playing video games here and there, keeping up on the League Twitter. But I will say, I unintentionally just took a week off of League, which was really weird. I kind of just realized that today.
Congratulations.
Thanks. It's feel weird and very itchy.
That's an addiction, I guess. Well, okay. Minecraft Diana.
Yeah, well, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, so maybe that's why I'm turning into a pixelation of myself.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that might be it. Yeah.
I don't know. I have no words.
Monty said I can count the pixels.
I was about to say, I want to know how many there actually are. It's actually quite bothering me because I'm perfectly fine on Discord. I don't know, whatever. How do they?
Not
so
on
is
this
that what I
Discord.
It's 4 pixels, by the way.
It's 4.
meant? It's 4. I don't need
It looks like you can only get that effect like by intentionally doing that in like a program by using like mosaic tiles or something. That's the only way you can make it look like that other than this naturally happening right now. You
See,
won't
I
get
don't
this
wanna-
anywhere else.
I don't want to like undo my camera, like connect it and disconnect it, so I guess I'll just be pixelated.
I don't think it's your
Probably
camera. I
is
think it's probably the
Fire's fault.
internet. But
Probably.
anywho, okay. So your
My
week?
I kind of started getting back into League, and I am now 50. Well, okay, so I made it to 72 LP, and by the time I got to 72 LP and Silver 1, I was finishing.
Oh.
I kept on. Once I hit 72, I like dropped, and then I was at 50 something, and then I would win and get back to 72, and then I would lose again. So I'm like stuck there, and so I stopped playing again.
You're 20 plus. That's great to hear because you'll
And
notice
I've
that
been
you're getting
18.
stuck when you're getting 8. Ooh. Did you
What?
just say 18?
18 and up is what I've been at.
What?
Why?
Were you at?
That's when
were
you know when you're getting 17, 18 a win. That means it's going to start.
Oh, your LP?
lowering your MMR. Yeah, an LP
Yeah,
game.
LP. What did you
Yeah, that's
I was
low.
like, wait, what do you mean?
Like
I mean,
16, I think, is the least.
I thought you were making an age joke.
no.
I thought John was making
Oh.
a statutory rape joke.
No, I was
Um,
gaining like 18 to whatever. I'm gonna leave.
So my week's been good.
Jesus Christ, Knox. Jesus Christ.
Does it make it better when you come in and say that the Lord's name in vain? So my week was good. This morning or today I played like 4 TFT games and somehow ended up like in the exact same spot that I was in beforehand, which is great. And that was fun. I won so I didn't win 2 games, but I was in the top 4 in 2 games, and then I came in 8th in 1 game and dropped all the way back down to 0, and then I came in 1st, so I went back up to where I was. I was like, this is fun. I like this game. And I had like, well, I can't talk about it yet. So I have a very tilting moment from yesterday. But yeah, I mean, overall, not a bad week. I started exercising a lot this week, which is exciting. I'm very sore. Oh, and I got a new job, which I start
Yay!
a week from Monday.
Nice.
So I probably did it wrong. My girlfriend's 9-year-old daughter tells me I dab wrong. So you heard it from the source. 4th grade. Any hoodles, let's move forward to our total tilters, shall we? I changed the slide. Are you proud of me? Yeah, like we said, that's the slide is a picture of me making a exacerbated face with a large explosion behind me, and we often call it Burrito Wednesday, which is what that looks like. All right, Diana, you're up first this time.
Can I go let my dog in? She's tilting me right now, actually. My dog's knocking on my
All right,
door.
Mojave, you're up first this time. Diana just left. This is...
Oh,
We're
Bailey.
33% down right now.
Bailey, fill in. Come on over here, Bailey.
All right, Diana, you're up. Someone go.
So my tilter is from League when I was playing. Was it yesterday? Maybe Sunday. I don't remember. Whatever day it was, I was doing really well, and then of course I get into the one game that was gonna make me lose, and my Poppy top was just constantly talking the whole entire time, blaming everybody else when they went like 2 and 10. What?
This doesn't
Can I
happen.
interject?
This
How
can't
long
be
did
a
you
real
let this
story.
go on for?
Yeah,
Oh, I ended up muting them.
good.
But
After 30 seconds?
no, because it was kind of entertaining to see what they were
Doesn't
watching,
sound like it
what
was
they were
very
saying.
entertaining.
But
Okay.
yeah, I didn't have anything like that. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, they were blaming like the whole team, and it was just, I don't know. It was just annoying. I don't know. I didn't, whatever.
That doesn't sound like League to me. I think you made that story up.
Ah, damn.
Never heard that.
I've never heard that
My
before.
Poppy thought they were hot stuff though. Basically, it was like you're a support and went 1 and 8, and I go, okay. You went 2 and 10 and basically fed the enemy top.
Should have been like, you're a blue child. Shut up.
You have Bomby Cinder. Of course you're hot.
All right.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite excuse, by the way, is when someone goes to a support and says you're like you have a positive KD. What?
Yeah, like it was just like, and then even the enemy team was even saying, "Why are you so toxic, Poppy?" And
What?
And that person was like,
Just what?
like the enemy team was saying it, and then they're like, "Well, my team is bad." Like, oh, it was just stupid banter. It was just really just annoying.
That sounds good to me. John, you're
All
up
right.
next.
I had a tilter, and then I got a new one when I was in my damn green room.
Ooh,
Sorry for cursing.
it's okay. I
you
said
know-
much worse things
Saying
earlier.
This, are you really?
No, I didn't hear it. I'm just, we were it's like what did Diana? I'm like, Diana, please just watch this K-pop video. And she goes, they all look the same. And I was like, it hurt. It hurt.
Oh,
me.
I just heard what you said. Diana,
What?
I thought we were staying away from racism on this broadcast and in the green room.
But I didn't
She did say, I didn't mean it like that. I was like,
mean it like that,
well, I'm
though.
tilted.
I thought it was like, what are the other bands you listen to? Is that Blackpink or
There's
I
Blackpink,
thought you were
yeah.
gonna say Black Eyed Peas.
no Blackpink? I was
That's my favorite K-pop group.
I was like, I'm learning things.
I know some things because of John. I even said today on my stream, I was like, somebody asked me what the song was, and it was like a Star Guardian song where it's like, it sounds like an anime intro or whatever. And I go, I know some of this stuff because of like my.
Well,
Why are you looking at me like that?
technically, Star Guardian is like an anime. It's supposed to be like Sailor Moon, so
Yeah,
it
but
technically
they
does
like-
have anime roots.
The reason why I know some stuff is because of John and like our other friends, but like
Mhm.
I just thought it was like another band that he had shown me before.
It's just apparently you didn't pick up on the fact out of all the things you learned that you're not supposed to say that all these people of a certain race look exactly the same. So on to
my girls, Diana.
onto my total tilter, Diana being racist in the green room, is also my total tilter. Wait, did you have another one, Mojave? Sorry.
You can
No.
save it for next week now.
Save it for next week.
I'm sure one will pop up 5 minutes before we go live. I do have an. I actually do
Oh,
have
go ahead.
one.
Go ahead.
I do have one. It's kind of quick. So actually, we were playing D&D, and this is like a kind of a good tilter, I guess.
Uh-huh.
We were playing D&D, and it's really funny because it has to deal with Diana again. She stole a bottle of wine, which was kind of fun. It was
Wait,
like,
in the
tilting-
game?
in the game, like the first contract, they're like, all right, you gotta go with this carriage and protect it. And she's the last one out of the carriage, successfully steals this bottle of wine, and just like zips her lips. And she's clanking. She's walking next to the carriage the whole time, and she's clanking. Like this bottle's clanking against other stuff, and no one heard it before she left.
Are you sure that wasn't IRL? Because that sounds like something you're supposed to play a character. You're not supposed to play yourself
I
in
wouldn't feel
D&D.
anything
was so funny.
IRL, okay?
It was amazing.
They're like,
And
we
then I
have to
woke up.
fight. We have to fight the magical demon beast. What weapon will you yield? This bottle once it's empty.
Just knock someone out with it.
I'm gonna get so much hatred now.
Well, our sponsors are not looking too good right now.
My total tilter this week. I'm gonna move forward because we've already spent way too much time in these two segments. My total tilter this week was yesterday. It was on stream, so everyone saw it. I had the most tilting game. I was like 13-1 on Caitlyn, and my team just like ran it down like as hard as possible. Like they were like Usain Bolt, just like towards the enemy tower. Like it was so frustrating. I didn't. It's a good thing there were no babies nearby.
Yike.
What, you gonna kick him?
Yeah. I thought that was implied. Anyways, Diana,
What?
please, just please.
I'm sorry, everything's breaking.
Okay, listen. I forgot to make a title for this next segment. I didn't think it would be a problem because I never change them anyways. But this is a segment that's going to be on the show because we love this man. He's Billy Bufu. He's one of the best mods in the world. I think he's actually a mod for all three of us. He is the common ground between us. He is the I don't know, bridge over troubled water. Hopefully this plays. This is Billy Bufu's Balancer. It's going to tell us what needs to change in League of Legends.
Welcome to Billy Bufu's Balancer. In this segment, we will be talking about champions that need to be removed from the game, or balanced. We will be talking about Alawi today, on how she needs to be balanced, because she literally runs the top lane. You need 3 to 4 people that have CC in order to shut her down. And if you do not have that, then you have very little chance of killing her. She has enough tank, enough damage, and enough sustain with Death's Dance to pretty much 1v5. This is something that needs to be changed. So thank you all for listening, and see you next time on Billy Bufu's Balancer.
I like it. Could you guys hear that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
calmer than
low
I
for me,
expected too.
But I got it.
Yeah, no, I turned it up too.
Yeah.
But unfortunately with sources like that in OBS, you can't change the volume until you play them for some reason. So he wants Alawi removed from the game. That's what I got out of that.
I barely see Alawi. So
She's scary.
technically- Yeah, what I do see her. It's true though. She's scary.
I don't
I rarely see her.
want to draw lines that aren't there. But do you feel like this could be some sort of childhood trauma that leads to this?
I didn't see that coming. Well, when it comes to Alawi,
Well, the tentacles.
Yeah, that's.
I gotta call my sponsor. Who's my agent?
What is going on?
I'm out of control today. He's like, nope.
So Alawi definitely out of control, but I think the issue is the blade. Actually, that stance is working more in favor for those kinds of people now, and I think that needs to change because that inadvertently buffed a lot of people.
Yeah, when I saw the stats on that item, I was like when they changed it, I was like, this is dumb. Like that's the most broken item in the game. Like you took an item that was a bruiser item, like pretty much bruiser items don't have tank stats. You ever notice that? Like they have health, but they never have, generally speaking, I think there's a few, but usually they don't have armor or magic resist. And then they give you one that has attack damage, armor, magic resist, healing, reduced. So you take, what is it? It's like 15% of the damage you take is like a bleed or something instead of it like all hitting you. And is there cooldown reduction on that item? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
No, but
I don't
still,
know if they added that. I don't think so though.
Without anything else in the current game, I feel like it's like one of the most over-tooled items for the cost as well. I mean, it's not a low cost, but it's low for like what you get out of it. It's very, very, very money efficient. And for someone like Alawi, who already heals when she's hitting you with ability, if she hits you with her tentacles in any way, shape, or form, she heals. She already heals. So it's like she just gets more healing on top of that because it's from all sources of attack damage, basically, you heal from. All physical damage is what the correct terminology. So you heal from all of those. So I actually, surprisingly, I don't generally agree with Billy's assessments, but maybe it's because a lot of times they're in the moment and he's like more angry. I'm just gonna have to like sneakily record Billy when he's mad about the game.
You got a yes from me, dog.
You got a yes from me, dog. Going to Hollywood. No, I agree. Alawi's pretty strong right now. I mean, heal reduction helps, but it's not the answer when there's like that much healing happening naturally, and then you add to it. So Billy, I think you got a good point there, pal. Let's move forward to Meta Masher, shall we? Which means I'm gonna need to look at the patch notes. So we did have patch notes come out today. They are gonna be going live tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Darn it.
It's always on Wednesday, every 2 weeks.
No, mommy.
Okay.
Oh, can we take our time on that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna read that one slower.
Just for me.
I'm not gonna play. Oh,
So real quick, you got Cho'Gath buff, Fiddlesticks buff, Gnar buff, Kayn buff, Lysandra buff, Quinn buff. The nerfs go to Bard, Karthus, Nami, Trundle, Wukong. We'll do real quick. We'll gloss over what they are. Bard's W gives you less movement speed, and the cooldown is higher. That's his. I don't know why I said W. I have the name of it in front of me. His Caretaker Shrine. That's basically his healing thing. So less movement speed when you walk over it. Magical Journey, which is his E that puts you through the walls, going from at level 1, 18 to 22 seconds. And so it's basically +2. Sorry, it's not at all levels. Basically, it goes from +4 at level 1 to +2 at level 5 of the ability. So it's up to 16 seconds, which is, I mean, it's fine. I mean, it makes a little bit of a difference for prolonged team fights, maybe, or I think maybe what they're trying to accomplish with that is not having him just like run around the map like a crazy person like he always does. You know, he has a little bit less flexibility to like make people chase him around the entire map. Moving forward, Cho'Gath Vorpal spikes. So at level 1, it's the same damage. That's his E, by the way, if anyone plays him and doesn't know the name of it. 82 damage at level 5, so it's +12 damage on the spikes. It's not like huge. I think it just helps a little. I mean, like 12 damage on an auto attack isn't that much when you get to the late game. So I'm not,
especially on Cho.
Yeah, I'm really not like. I mean, I think that ability already has percentage damage as well, I believe. So I'm not really super sure. Like, they state what they're trying to do, that he's been struggling, but like, it's not that much damage. So I think you might see that retuned again if they are trying to put him there. Fiddlesticks, more E damage. Early it's the same, but at level 5 it goes up 20, I think. Yeah, 20. So that's his reap. So he's just getting a little bit more damage, base damage. Gnar, Boulder Toss, which is his Q. That's when he's in Mega form. The cooldown refund when he picks it up is 70 instead of 60%, so that's pretty helpful. The big one for Gnar is that his crunch damage, which is his E when he's in Mega form, is up by 30 at all levels. So it sort of encourages you to actually land your E's more, because you're going to be doing more base damage, where a lot of people usually use it for like repositioning. You might want to reconsider a little bit, as opposed to like just using it for repositioning. Karthus movement speed down by 10. Cool. He's already super slow, so it kind of sucks, but not slow enough, I guess. I think the biggest buff in this patch, from what I remember, is this Kayn buff. Reaping Slash. Get ready for this, which is his Q, by the way. Level 1, it's down in 1 whole second, and it's the same throughout the entirety. So at level 5, his Reaping Slash is on a 4-second cooldown. That's before any CDR. Okay?
So
also,
then basically,
yeah, he can cast it more.
he's
Also...
gonna cast... Okay, yeah, continue.
Sorry. Also, bonus damage against monsters now applies to minions.
Nice.
So, actually, when I read the patch note the other day, it said bonus damage to minions and monsters, but maybe they refined what they meant to say there. Also, his W, the Blade's Reach, is a 90% slow instead of 70% now. So... he's going to be a nightmare.
He's going to be an actual champion pre-6.
Yep.
That's pretty good. That's wild.
Damn.
I don't know. I believe both of those changes apply to both red and blue Kayn as well. And next up, so I think that's probably the biggest one of this patch, just for noting. But next up, Ice Shard for Lysandra. The cooldown is 2 seconds lower at level 1. It's the same at level 5. I'd like to see Lysandra in the meta again. She's actually a pretty cool champion. She's kind of annoying, but she's pretty cool. This next one, huge. My favorite. This is my favorite. Nami. She's gonna be a fried fish by the time I'm done with her. I can't do Trump, but I tried.
That was good.
Nami's base health is going down by, like, what is it? How much is that? Sorry, when there's a strike through, it's really hard to see.
Like
14.
14.
Yeah. Mana down by 12-ish. It's all like decimal. Passive surging tides movement speed down to 45 from 60. So
I think this is actually a really healthy.
This is a very
nerf.
It actually is a healthy nerf. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but
No, this is like a healthy balance change. Nami has been like one of the best supports in solo queue for how many years are we going on? 6?
I don't know, but her win rate right now is really high. That's why they nerfed her.
What did I say? It was, in Plat, it was like she's like tier 1, I think, as like
She's
support.
amazing. She's awesome.
It's because Nami essentially embodies like you, and when you're in bot lane for supports, you have a triangle. You basically have poke. You have sorry, I just got so distracted because I saw someone say it's Brooke. I'm gonna try it now. I'm sitting here thinking who's Brooke. Oh, McFarland. Okay, welcome. Sorry, that was bad, guys. I gotta get back on track. What was I saying?
We were talking about how good Nami is and how she can chase people, she can poke, sustain.
Yes.
Everything.
In bot lane, you basically have engage, sustain, and poke. That's like your triangle when you look at it, right? I don't need to go through the whole thing. I think a lot of people already know how it works, but if you're interested and you don't know, please ask me after. I'd be happy to explain it to you. I can talk till my face is blue. But basically, Nami, so which one's the hypotenuse, Nox? You didn't explain that. No, but basically Nami, technically, although she is not really an engaged support, she actually does have the abilities to do that. Guess what? She also has a lot of poke. And guess what? She also has sustain.
And disengage.
But that's sort of, yeah. So even though she's not a tanky champion, she technically embodies all parts of the triangle. Now, she might be better at some parts than others, but because of that, I think she's a very, very strong pick. And I think that's why she is seeing nerfs. And if people don't understand, that's basically, I think, why it's picked so often and why it gets nerfed, because it has so much flexibility and sustain. It's really hard to, because she can sustain, like she's good at poking, right? And you can poke back, but because she can sustain, she's then able to make that back. So she's a good champion. I don't know. I forget what the rest of what I was going to say. She's a good champion. We can move forward. Nami, burn Nami alive. Moving forward, the near sight duration for Quinn is upped by a quarter second, 1.5 to 1.75. Trundle, subjugate, his his ultimate, going up a little bit. So 20 seconds at all levels for the cooldown. Wukong, his base armor is decreased by 3, which is, if you're playing in the jungle, that'll definitely make a difference, and I'm sure in lane it probably will too. He just won't be able to trade as easily. So it's down to 31 from 34. Crushing Blow, which is his Q, is also being nerfed by 10 at all levels. And Warrior Trickster, which is his clone, the damage is down on that as well from, 5% at all levels. So 35 at level 1, 55 at level 5. One other really big change this patch, Sanguine Blade. The cost got brought down by 100, the combined cost, and also it got 5 more attack damage. So that item is going to be comparatively a good amount stronger than it was before. It's very, very good, especially for people that are split pushers. So you might see more of that The problem with that item is that you lose a lot of the stats on it when there's more than one person around. So, but then also the good thing about it is that you end up pulling more than one person with you. So it's good and bad, right? The Essence Emporium is coming back. It's important to know. So if you have blue essence, you'll be able to buy stuff with it, and it's probably a bunch of stuff you'll forget about the next day. But it's here. Upcoming skins and chromas, we got the Fun Plus Phoenix World skins are going to be coming out, and they look pretty cool and pretty Power Rangers, if you ask me.
I like that Gangplank skin, man.
Yeah, they all kind of look like Captain Falcon. Is that his name? Falcon?
Yeah,
Falcon?
yeah.
Falcon. Falcon Punch! That's what Lee Sin will do. Falcon Kick! So that is the patch notes. Yeah, that's the whole darn thing. Anything we feel the need to discuss further there? It wasn't huge, but there were little changes that are good.
No, you're definitely going to see more Kane if you didn't already.
And Kane with Sanguine Blade, yay!
Nar, maybe with Sanguine Blade,
possibly,
depending on the matchup.
I think if you like playing split pushers, this is your patch. Definitely it's your patch.
Yeah.
Sanguine Blade's super strong, and to get more, I mean, 5 AD, when you think about it, you're like, oh, it's just 5 AD, whatever, but it's like, it's 5 free AD, and then they're also paying you 100 more gold to take it. So it's like, it's a pretty good trade-off. It's already a strong item. The thing is, I mean, the reason they're lowering it is because, yes, it's a strong item, but a lot of people are worried that, like, oh, well, I'm buying into stats that I'm not going to get if there's more than one person in my lane. But so they're like basically incentivizing it by saying, like, hey, come on, use this item. It's a little bit cheaper, a little bit more powerful. Come on, come in the van, kid. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. So I really need to think of the lines.
Whoa.
I need to think of the lines that I'll say after I say weird jokes, because I feel like that would cover them up better. But next up, as I change my slide, lore me or bore me with this buff man right here. Hello, Joshua. Are you there, sir?
Oh my god, I have to write so many emails.
That's not my fault. It's them.
You know what's unfortunate
you're
is
I blame Diana.
No, but I told them not to say. I told John not to say anything.
I'm trying to figure out who you're going to write that last email to,
I don't
because
know.
all the schools are closed, so you're going to have to put them to each individual house.
Do I write to just the LCS in general? Like, please don't completely ban us. Like,
Please just don't watch this would be a better request.
We don't exist.
So, lore me or bore me, Joshua has a lovely lore story. I'm sure none of us have heard it, even though he was trying to influence the judges earlier of which one he should use, and I heard about it, and he's in trouble for it.
No, today's a special day.
Special
What?
day.
It's
It is a-
Tuesday, Joshua. It's a special day. Sure.
It is. Today's Bilgewater Day. Bilgewater came out on Legends of Runeterra. Like, the whole update happened. Like,
I wish I
all
had
the new
alcohol
characters
to
came.
listen to this.
MFTF.
Yes, all of them came out. They have a whole new theme. You know, it's a special day.
Did a video get released?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
didn't
we
see
know
the
how I
video.
like Bilgewater events. So, Joshua has 60 seconds to tell us a thrilling, gripping lore story, and then afterwards we're going to vote whether or not we'd like to hear more. Also, probably starting next week, we're just waiting for a new microphone to come in from Josh, because it sounds like he's calling from his car on a old Nokia. We're going to be doing segments for where we basically expand these lore stories and you'll be able to hear more about them. In all seriousness, we recorded one. We really, really like what we have, and we're just waiting for that microphone to come in so you guys can get the full quality. It's going to be great. Let's hear Josh's lore story. Give me 1 second. Let me get the timer up. Joshua, are you nearly ready?
As ready as I'll ever be, but we know I'm going to
As
go over
ready
about 10
as
seconds.
I'll ever be. I'm stopping you on time this time.
Well, yeah.
Get burned.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Timer's
I wanna
up.
hear you take a breath.
I never do. So
Joshua, you have 60 seconds to lure all of us into a lore story and want more, and your time starts now.
So we're celebrating Bilgewater, so I thought I'd tell the story about a year ago when they did the Bilgewater events. They released some audio logs explaining the legends of Bilgewater. The storyteller's name is Lars, and he's gone through and met most of the historical figures in Bilgewater's past. This particular story is about Nautilus. When you set sail, you have to throw money into the ocean as an offering to the bearded lady, which is their version of like a god. His captain did not. And on their way back, Nautilus attacked his ship, and this story is describing how Nautilus's anchor ripped through the ship and started tearing apart and throwing men overboard as the sharks and all the like razorfish began to rip apart his crew. He's describing how Nautilus grabbed his captain by the throat and held him in the air as the boat slowly sank, and he watched his captain sink into the water, screaming as Nautilus like froze in place, warning people to always pay the price to the bearded lady. The Legends of Bilgewater are super interesting.
Time.
Seeing Nautilus, damn it.
What?
Well spoken, Joshua. And as always, I'm going to go to Diana first. Diana, did he lure you or bore you?
No. I don't. I got lost.
You can't answer no to a multiple choice question.
Did he lure you? Yes or no?
I said, did he lure you or bore you? And you said, no.
Oh, I didn't hear the bore you.
None of the above. C.
I didn't hear you say bore you. I got bored. I got lost.
You got bored and lost.
I got bored and lost.
You could say Diana was lost at sea. Mojave, what did you think of the story?
I am sold. I just pictured the whole time like I was Nautilus in that story, and then Diana was the captain. I was like, "Yar, you didn't bribe me. Yar, I'll kill you."
This is for the green room, yar.
You know what?
So,
that's enough of a win for me.
I related it to my life because that actually happened. But I am sold. You're going to Kansas City.
You're going to Dayton, Ohio.
You're going to Newark.
You're going to Detroit.
Don't go there. Don't
Okay. For me, I love being the deciding vote. For me, let me tell you something. This story has sentiment for me. Okay? Because I didn't know it until you just started telling it right now, but I'm pretty sure that's the first lore story you ever told me, Josh.
I think it is too, actually. That's also why I picked it for when I decided to celebrate Bilgewater. I was listening to the story. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the first time I ever told Knox because I was super excited these came out, and this was like you weren't expecting this, and we had a whole conversation about like why do you like the lore? Like it just blew your mind that how is this big in the lore?
This is back when I was like I didn't know Josh that well, so I was still trying to be polite. And so I would like listen to his stories. I mean, I'll say yeah, just because of the sentiment. You win because you won the heart through sentiment. Though, if I'm being honest, I wasn't like super hooked because I already knew the story.
What do you mean? He has a hook. He hooked you.
I already knew the story. I have heard the story before.
Knox, he tore down a ship. I can't do that in real life.
Hey, John, have you ever voted no?
No, he hasn't.
Diana, have you even paid attention to half of them?
You could sell John a melted crayon if you make it sound nice.
That's good artwork. That's good artwork.
It was this one or Tom Kench, but then the Diana was
I looked it up.
and then that's the issue. My original one was Tom Kench as well, and then Diana's like, "Let me look up the story so I can be prepared this week."
Oh, no,
I was like, "Can't tell."
No, so I didn't even look up the story. I just looked it up when we were trying.
That's
to
my
guess.
second total tilter, by the way. She looked it up. She's like, I was on Google. I was like, that's looking it up.
Diana ruined the integrity of Lore Me or Bore Me, a very serious segment.
To be fair, though, even if it was the other one too, I probably would have enjoyed
Oh my
it.
god.
Josh has also told me the Tom Kench story, so either one, I remember.
This is collusion.
Hold on. tell me if I'm wrong. And maybe this is like old. There's 2 lores for Tom Kench, right? Wasn't he like a world eater or something in one?
So in his first
I don't.
one,
No. Yes or no?
I'm doing one sentence versions. I'm doing one sentence version. In the old one, he ate people. In the new one, he did not eat the person at the end. So. Yeah.
So in the new one, in the new one, he's like a river. Doesn't he like take people's like lives for debts or something?
He's like a devil gone down to Georgia kind of thing. Like he makes evil. Yeah, he makes deals with people for their misery.
Man, you made me want to listen to that song so bad, but I can't listen to it because it's a recorded podcast.
We could listen to the Tom Kench Logan music together.
No, please. Can you? All right. Bye, Josh. Thank you so much for your story. Okay. No, seriously though. Thank you. You're going to Dayton, Ohio. Congratulations. And moving forward, that was, it's always a topic of controversy, that segment. LCS.
I can't believe the both of you.
What did I do?
I just can't believe you guys. I thought, that was going to be a 3-star because we're 1 star per person, 3 stars.
Technically, we don't really know Diana's answer because she answered no to a this or that question. So
I didn't hear you say bore me.
It's because you talked too early.
I did not.
It's because you talked too early. Go back, rewind the tapes. On a side note, I have to drink sugar-free Rockstar because I can't find any sugar ones, which is disgusting.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it tastes about as good as it sounds. LCS and LEC, we obviously didn't have any games, although I think since the last time we talked, and this doesn't have to do with LCS or LEC, but didn't the Korean League have its finals since the last time we aired? And Faker became Faker again?
Yes.
So,
3-0.
yeah, they got 3. Apparently, I think from what I understood, they were the underdogs, and they just, like, stepped up and just, like, destroyed.
You should watch the highlights.
I started to.
Plays were insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to again because I love watching Faker when he does Faker things. But that happened, and if you go on YouTube, you can always just look up like the highlights. It's actually amazing what you see. It doesn't give you the whole story, but at least you get to see the cool stuff. And Diana, I heard that, and yeah. You know what, Diana? If you're gonna exhale out of your nose, turn your head 45 degrees to the left.
Don't have her angle it over here. What the hell?
Ew, boogies.
Get away, Diana.
Whoa.
Okay, so all right, we talked about last week. Double If went to TSM. It's now official. It wasn't official last week, but it's now official. He told the story about basically how it became that he came here. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch the whole video, but I watched like probably 75% of it because I feel like he just started to repeat himself. But he totally made it sound like it was like this peaceful thing where he's like, yeah, they asked me where I wanted to go, if I had to go anywhere, and I said I would definitely go to TSM. Like, and I'm like, I don't know about that, but maybe. They didn't want him anymore. That's definitely what I understood. And now he's on TSM, and hopefully he has, however, committed this being his best split ever. I don't know if you guys heard that, but he said it's going to be his best split ever.
That's what I heard in Steve's video today.
And he is 26 years old, I think.
I do want to also say that the Team Liquid coach, before it was announced that they were getting a new one, did put out his side of the story for what happened with Double Lift and Team Liquid. But it's like 7 or 8 paragraphs. But it's basically explaining that they were talking all season. Peter did not seem motivated, and they got into a few fights during practices. To
Fist
the point
fights?
That Peter stopped. Verbal. Peter eventually would no longer wanted to go to practice, basically, and it came down to that.
How ironic.
Yeah, he was saying that like, especially with the roster change with like X Smithy left and all that, like he said that they weren't like really helping them out as much, like helping out the team, the players. So I gotta read up more will come to light, I'm sure. But
So they're taking all the like heavy rooted like veteran players off the team and getting a new coach. Now I know Broxa is a veteran player, but he's not like here. So in the sense of like, you know, environment and maybe toxicity, whatever, like he hasn't been here for that really. So I don't think he would count. But those are like two of the longest standing players in the LCS that are no longer on that team. I think Double Lift can be good. We'll see. Like we know, you know, I'm not a huge fan of his, but see what he does, you know. Last time he was here, he cleaned up his act a little bit, and it's like, no, I can get behind that a little bit more. But there's a bigger news, in my opinion, because it's speculation, really, and not news.
I know.
Team Liquid is getting a new coach, right? We just heard about that from Josh. He's sort of, how do you say, no, I forget the saying. He basically, he took the thunder out of my next segment a little bit. But Team Liquid got a new coach, or is getting a new coach. It sounds like they have the person, right? It sounds like from what you guys said, I didn't get to watch the video. They have the new person, right? But they're just waiting to announce it. They can't give names or whatever. It has to be Yamato Cannon. It has to be. It has to be Yamato Cannon.
Is that him? Is that him?
I want Yamato Cannon in the LCS so much. Please. Please. Bring me to LCS. Please bring Yamato Cannon here so I can have a reason to like a team other than TSM. Because they keep destroying my heart. I mean, honestly, Team Liquid doesn't seem like a good fit for anyone right now. It seems like they're kind of imploding. But Yamato Cannon can bring it together. I want to see him here. I honestly want him to coach TSM. I think he's awesome. I think he's inspiring, and I think he's a good coach, and I want him here. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
That's what I thought of after our talk last week, and that's what Steve said. He's like, we have somebody in the works. That's why I posted going, oh my god, they have a coach, but they're not saying who it is.
It has to be Yamato Cannon.
I will be hysterical if it's him.
He
So
just
this isn't
started.
even the first game that he coached, or well, for like League of Legends. Like, didn't he coach in StarCraft?
I think so.
Like
Didn't we have this
He's been a long time
conversation
coach.
We
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
this conversation like our first week or something.
He knows what he's doing.
I'm Yamato Cannon, and I know what I am doing. I think he'd be a great coach here. I think that I don't know if everyone saw his like most inspiring moment. I'm not going to go through it again because it gives me chills and I just can't handle it. But he is awesome. I think he's an inspiring coach. I think he's a good coach and he knows what he's doing. And even in the face of like adversity, he's always like stuck to his points. He doesn't sit there and go like, oh, you know, like maybe I should have done this differently. He's like, we had the game, we just didn't execute it. Like, we can be better. Like, I've always liked his style. So I hope he comes here. I hope it's him. It could literally be anyone.
Could it, what happens if it's like Sneaky? Let's say Sneaky's gonna be
If
a
it's
coach.
Sneaky, he's gonna be a coach.
Let's just say, I just thought of that. I don't know why, but like, because people were speculating he was gonna be the starter ADC.
It's my tilter.
What? But it's fine.
Sorry to interrupt, but I also just got some new information. There was a video released earlier today of Thorin, the people that were calling for the investigation into double lifts going to TSM. He released a video accusing TSM of trying to poach players with Discord messages, and has even accused Double Lift of potentially throwing the split in order to get his contract onto TSM with his girlfriend.
Who is this? Some like independent YouTuber or something?
No, his name's Thorin.
Okay.
And
Thorin's thoughts. That
yeah,
guy?
Thorin and Monty and TSM has actually started to address these rumors. So it's becoming slightly bigger. It seems the LCS has ruled in favor of TSM, but they're trying to get Reddit and other people to start fighting.
But what does Thorin have? Like, why? How does he know any of this?
I don't know, but he did provide a list of private messages from Double Lift's girlfriend. There's a video on it that's about 20 minutes long.
Oh, gee.
But he has access to various DMs that she sent European and North American players. it seems, and there's talk that Doublelift may have thrown the split on purpose.
How do you get those DMs? Like, what do you... Like, those can't be, like, public property. Like, it's not like a company where they have to, like, you know, like, put their finances out to, like, for claims, and if you're publicly traded, like, how do you get that?
I mean, Thorin has like a big following, but he also has a following of buffoons as well. But like, I don't know, man. Even if it is true, I still wouldn't want to hear it from Thorin. that's like going to like the Onion. I don't know. That's
I don't know.
just me.
Can you
That's
trust?
my opinion,
You can't
man.
trust Travis anymore. He's dating the evil genius's girl.
A lot of people are calling him out, saying that a lot of the messages he showed were stretch. A lot of what they're saying is that it seems a lot like bullcrap, but he's still trying to. It seems he's more trying to start some kind of fire, you know. With
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? That's how you get views.
That's how you stay relevant.
Yeah.
Thorin's been a long time coming to do something different. Maybe coach someone. Maybe like for like, you know, like what is it on Fiverr? $50 a coaching session.
Are you talking about RCK?
A little bit, but like, yo, he could do that with his time instead of making up stuff. We'll see though. We'll see.
All right. Well, I mean, that's interesting. I guess we'll have to see if there's any validity to it. I mean, it's interesting if TSM goes out of their way to address it. It honestly does make them look a little bit more guilty.
Well, they've already addressed it.
To
Lena,
him?
Yes, they
exactly.
they did a small tweet towards him. Again, it's mostly talk of poaching, trying to poach, and Steve possibly being swindled. But it's she did make a public tweet basically saying this is, you know, there's no substance to it.
I can't see Doublelift intentionally throwing. He's like so annoying. I just can't. I can't see him doing that. He's way too like arrogant about how he plays and stuff.
Well, there's that, but like, I've watched their games. It's not just Doublelift. It's not Doublelift pulling a Sven when he was.
Yeah, it's not just like running it down.
This is like legitimate. Like there were issues all around the map. Like,
yeah.
Like what?
And also the fact that the coach was removed from the team also tells me that like it's legitimate. The fact that like they definitely had internal conflict. I don't think it's just like Doublelift. Just like, you know what I mean? Like the fact that I think. When I think about them, like, why would you remove the coach if you remove Doublelift, right? Because they had problems together. Why would you also remove the coach? And to me, it's probably because they saw sides of the coach that they didn't like his professionalism. And they thought that he should have handled situations better. And that maybe, like, because if you lose, quote unquote, the locker room, if you will, of the players that are still there, they're not going to listen to you and they don't take your advice. And if he maybe stooped to that level, that's the only reason I can think about. Unless they just like, I just don't like the way he coaches, maybe. But I think it's pretty clear that like Double has been very vocal about the fact that he just wasn't into this season. So I don't know if you can really put that on him. And you also had a new player assimilating.
Actually, the exact response she posted this on Reddit about 5 hours ago. The whole point of the TSM Discord messages to our fans was to show that we did try for these big roster moves. We 100% went through management, and I felt okay talking about these incidents since they were really far in the past. At any point, if there are any issues, teams would have reported TSM the riot, and both incidents, the past ones and the most recent trade, we worked with the teams and riot to make sure everything is above board.
Okay, well, I mean, that pretty much dismisses it in my mind, unless there's more. I don't know.
Thorin's just trying to talk about the anti-hero all day, you know? Staying relevant.
Well, we'll see what happens, right? That's what we'll see.
See you in court.
Okay, you're gonna see. Okay, hold on. You're gonna see the cameras go for 1 second. Actually, no. I need you guys. We have.
Did I just die?
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, we good now? We good.
I'm still pixelated. Damn it.
Yes, that will not change. You are
so
a
confused.
pixelated mess.
Diana lives near me, and she looks exactly the same as she does right now.
That stinks.
Their whole family is straight up Minecraft.
So we had our weekly, we had our question of the week, and we got quite a few responses. I want to make sure we get this in under the wire here. So the question was, what is the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you in League? And it can be anything. Infinite Chances said, it took me a few seasons to learn that I didn't have to double click to buy items in the store. I could just right click once instead. I think that just literally happened to Diana recently too.
Yes, you told me, and I go, what? That was like a few months ago.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I mean, that's not that embarrassing. I'm sure he has more embarrassing stories from
probably,
having played with him.
Oh, I have a few.
Carrot Cake says, I didn't know until I was level 30 and a year into League what active items were. Okay, that's pretty embarrassing. I get it, though. I get it. Okay. Wolf of the Fallen said, when you accidentally TP to a ward that's 2 feet away. Yeah, that's super embarrassing. I've had that happen to me before. Especially when you play when you're like not used to having TP because you're playing a different lane or something. Steffi said, when you're assigned AD carry and you usually play support and you lock in Nami because you didn't notice you were assigned AD carry. But not only that, you don't notice until 4 minutes into the game. I feel like that's negligence if you didn't notice for that long. Like, no one said anything in the lobby? Billy said, when you died 4 times to red buff back in the day. That was like a thing for a while. The jungle used to be a lot less forgiving. Zombie says, countless times I would have my hand on the wrong keys. I've done this before too, a long time ago. WERT instead of QWER. I would use my ult when I was just trying to farm waves. That has happened to me before, and it's super embarrassing. And what was the one from Twitter, Diana?
Oh, PT said playing my first day in PvP and not understanding that different characters were better at different roles.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's just being new. It's not that embarrassing, but I could see how you'd feel embarrassed.
I do want to say, when I was first playing, I thought Zhonya's was something that would just happen automatically, so I'd buy it, I'd be in the middle of a fight, and I'd be like,
Zhonya's isn't working!
I'd start screaming, I'm like, why am I not freezing like everybody else? And then somebody had to explain to me, like, in a ranked game, that Zhonya's was something you had to click on, and it was a very enlightening moment for me.
Well, that is special.
John, do you remember when I first started playing with you guys and I would get redemption and I would forget? He's like, no.
Cherish the moments.
Or I didn't realize I could use it.
Yeah.
Like that.
You can use it. You're in range. Please help me.
Like, why aren't you using it? I was like, oh, I forgot. And then I finally remembered.
Well, okay. I liked those answers. I hope to hear some more next week, because here's your question. If you were taken up into Pro League of Legends and you were going to be on stage, and the owner of the team wanted you to have a provocative name, what name would you choose?
Yikes.
Okay. It has to be a name that you could use on the stage. But I want I want you guys to give me some provocative names that you would choose to really get people's attention. Also, from this week's question, did you guys have answers at all? From the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you in League? Yeah.
I mean, I could say the one about the redemption. And then also...
Wait, what one about redemption?
Where I didn't know I could use it, and I had to keep on being remembered. Like, and it, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But then I also had the same incident where I got queued into a ranked game, and I didn't realize I got queued as mid. Because I go support mid, and I was actually put in mid, and I picked Nami, and then I ended up dodging. Because I mean, I realized in the lobby that I picked Nami as mid, but then I dodged because I was like, oh god, I can't do this. So yeah.
Okay.
I have a lot. I can't say them all.
Yeah. Well, we'll have a separate show where Diana just says all the embarrassing things that have happened to her in League of Legends. John?
Recorded. We've got videos. Probably when Lee Sin came out and I was learning him. I played against some hooligan they must have been a 5-stack, I don't know, but this Malphite was TPing, and I was like, oh my god, I'm Lee Sin, I can Q to him and follow him for a gank, check this out. And I followed him straight into his well because his teammate threw a ward down and I died. So that was pretty embarrassing. Especially when they all called me names. They're like, got you, noob. And I was like, you got me, guys.
I think that's pretty funny. I think my most embarrassing moment, I don't know if it can be a single moment. How about literally every fail flash ever? Those are like the most cringy, like dirty feeling thing that can happen to you. the teleporting onto wards has definitely happened to me before by accident. And I mean, when you pick the wrong ruins, that's pretty embarrassing too. Like when it's just like not, like, it doesn't work at all. I do remember the first time I ever played League of Legends. It was, I mean, this is pretty embarrassing, but it also was the first time I ever played League of Legends. The first character I ever played was Alistar. And without knowing anything about Alistar, I just immediately assumed because he was a big, strong dude that I should be building damage because he's obviously very strong. So that was me in season 1, however, 10 years ago or whatever it was. But I think, I mean, you guys already know all my most embarrassing moments. They're live for everyone to see. Who needs to see more? Yeah. It's just, oh, goodness. Well, you guys have any closing sentiments for the people out there listening?
If you repeat that you have an item like in your inventory, if you're like, I have Azonias, you'll actually remember it. You're welcome.
That's actually pretty good advice. Diana, do you want to try with redemption right now?
No.
Wow,
It's a
toxic.
multiple choice question. No.
Yeah.
I know. Like, I actually had to stop and think about what was just being spoken about.
Well.
My brain hurts.
Do you have any closing sentiments, Diana? Any helpful tips for the players out there?
No, just don't die. Practice makes perfect.
Wow, that was the most.
What? Why is he got Yamato cannon? Even
Yamato
going to TL,
cannon.
just put Diana in there.
Yeah. Guys,
Just
go
don't
out
die.
there and don't die.
But
But
play
like,
more towards the top lane, and then we'll worry.
Guys, only 2 glasses of wine. We're trying to win here.
Yeah, drink. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
When
Oh,
I'll give you,
Be responsible. I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
I'll give you guys
tired.
advice. Unless you are severely behind, and even most of the times when you're not, or when you are severely behind, every time you back, you should be buying a pink ward.
Yes.
That will save you more times than you know. Tested and proved. Trust me, go watch the streams. That's about it for us tonight, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching the State of the League. We'll be back next week with episode 6, but until then, stay frosty. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much to Modest Mojave, Princess Diana. Check out their streams. My name's Good Guy Knox. Have a good night. Thank you.
What the heck?
I'm just watching John's. Sorry. Good night, guys. Thank you.
What?
I still haven't stopped the stream, so everyone got a real good look at your chapstick.
You gotta stay hydrated with your lips, so you're gonna get chapped lips. Like a chapped ass. Call my agent. Get me
All
out of
right,
here.
now I'm stopping the stream. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.